Mickey and Matt, yeah, they're cranking it up. Jumping down theories like a hyperactive pup. Rambo Joe, let the fuse, Dave said, take control. Now we're broadcasting live above the rabbit hole. Ancient aliens, lizard kings, government plots and shadowy things. Laughing while they're chasing the truth in the dark. Are we crazy? Sure, but that's the spark. So smash that like button, buckle in tight. We're going down deeper than a cue drop tonight. 10 for shining, the jokes are rolling. Hold on, folks, the truth is scrolling. Yeah, smash that like button. Welcome to the show. We're live above the rabbit hole. Mickey's on the mic, dropping jokes like bombs. Matt's taking notes while he's reading the Psalms. Bigfoot, chemtrails, a man in black. Whatever you believe, it'll make you laugh back. Was it real? Was it stage? Was the moon landing fake? Ask the boys, they know the code, or at least they'll improvise an episode. Smash that like button, let the madness roll. Welcome to the wild side, above the rabbit hole.
You judge a show by how it begins. And I'd like to say this show is beginning with exactly 206 people in the chat room already.
We've been getting messages about our guest today, man.
And
people are very excited.
Every day, this show has done this up and up and up and up. And it's because of, the people in this chat room. All right, I want to say something clear to the whole community, the Q-munity, that you guys in these chat rooms are the reason this stuff even works. Now, our guests and the brilliant minds behind what everyone is watching is the fuel.
Yeah.
But how lucky are we that we just get to be the steering wheel? Like, if you're using a car analogy.
I agree.
These guys,
although people think that he's going to break us today, you know that?
Well, listen, you can't break broken. Listen, Matt, just to give you some fair warning, Rambo, to me, maybe he has a special gift in that I haven't seen anyone else like Rambo in this aspect. He is just as impressive in a room full of Anon code breakers as he is in a room full of normies that know nothing. And a lot of these guys that we get to talk to, I'm noticing, are like this. They're special in that, yes, they know they have a different kind of mind that allows them to do this. But what some of them don't have the mind to also be able to explain it in a way that the average person can get.
Well, we've been very lucky, man, with the guys that we've had on our Q School episodes so far, because they've all been incredibly patient, knowledgeable, and they've been able to talk to our level.
And every one of those guys have told us, save Matrix for about the fourth or fifth class.
It's true.
Because that's where the trigonometry and shit comes in. We've been adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying so
excited
far.
About that.
Now we get some algebra and trigonometry involved.
Yeah, so welcome to Chapter 4 of Q School. You can go back. We have a playlist now. If you want to go back and watch them consecutively, Chapter 1 through 3 right now. But today will be Chapter 4 with an incredible guest. You want to bring him in?
Let's do it, man.
Today's guest is one of the OGs, man, and we're going to let him kind of tell his story.
Before we actually bring him in, Matt, I just want to get a couple little business things out of the way.
Yeah.
Obviously, for those of you interested in the shirt world, the community shirts, the Above the Rabbit Hole shirts, those things are all available right now. If you go to
check this out.
Is it above? No, it's Mickey Talks. .com,
well, we've got the link in the description, so just go there and click on it.
Check out the shirts. We also have the ladies shirt V-neck available. And one last thing before we get into it, everything we do every week brings us closer to truth, right? Today, I want to tell people, I really think some minds are going to be blown in a way. If you're a newbie at this or you're just coming into this world, be warned. Today it's Q School, but we're being taught by one of the most impressive.
You might want to go back and watch Chapter 1, 2, and 3 first, and then come in on this one. But not, so stay here if you're watching.
So let's bring him in, as I like to call him. He's like the Rain Man of Rain Men.
Yeah, so he's one of the OGs, of course, in this movement, and the legendary MatrixQdeBreaker. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Thank you for having me on.
We always like to start out with your definition of what Q is. If you're talking to somebody that had no idea what Q is, how would you explain it to them?
Well, the first thing I would tell them is it's the 17th letter of the alphabet.
Yes.
And from there, I would have to say it's probably the greatest, largest military intelligence operation to ever be put on this world. And it is a massive, worldwide sting operation, basically, is what it came down to, or comes down to.
Do you think, Matrix, that is it, and I don't know this, but is it the first time there has ever been a joint effort between civilians and the military in a military coded way?
To my knowledge, yes. And of course, the drops also tells us that as well. I think it's one drop that brings it up. Middle Syllable Alliance. Give me 1 second here.
Dude, it's like he has encyclopedia.
Drop 4511 tells us this has never been attempted. Use of general public to counter the narrative propaganda pushed by controlled media. Analysis start to now indicates situational awareness, decoupling of MSDNC control of information, channels 1 through 99 of general public, expanding at massive pace. Attacks indicate can be defined as loss of generalized information control. And here comes your part. Need to expend ammunition, muster network to defend and coordinate attacks to counter military-civilian alliance.
Dude, people forget. And this is something that I think we live in such a great country that people forget. This country was founded by an army of citizens. You understand that? We grabbed farmers, we grabbed blacksmiths, we said, here's a gun, go shoot these fuckers in red, right? But along the way, there were many men and women who were soldiers that were working in taverns, that were waitresses, that were buggy drivers, things like that gathered information, that slipped words to other people. That's what I think these guys are, man.
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Sounds awfully familiar.
Patriots.
Yeah.
In the civilian world.
Yeah.
And they're signing us up as we go to not battle the government. We're not battling the government, I don't think. I think what we're battling is just evil. And it's everywhere. It's government, it's philosophy, it's corporations, it's advertising, it's entertainment.
Sure.
And that's what these dudes saw. They went, wait a minute. In the beginning, these guys were like, they're telling us something. And they noticed it, and it's brilliant.
Now, let me ask you, before we start digging in here, I think it's really important that we talk about the misconceptions in the Q movement. Some of the biggest ones are what the mainstream media and people in your general public say about what they call QAnon, which I have now realized is the wrong terminology. Q is the person or people behind the Q drops, and Anons are the people in the movement. Do I have that right, first of all?
Yeah, there is Q.
Yeah.
There are Anons. There is no QAnon.
Gotcha. Now
so
well, I
was going to say what that comes down to is we are the Anons. We are Q as well. That's the whole thing. But there is no QAnon, which is why the question to Trump about QAnon was a farce. That's the best part about it.
Now, if you talk to the mainstream media, they'll tell you that this whole movement is a far-right radical movement. They say that it's full of racism. They'll say that they're promoting violence. None of this so far for me has remotely been my experience with the people I've met and talked to, but I want to hear it from your mouth. What are the misconceptions and what is the reality of the Q movement?
Oh, it to me, it quite literally is the exact opposite of what they say, because everything they say basically is projection. Everything that they claim about us and our side is quite literally what they do every time. They are racist. They are far left, I guess, extremists. They're the ones that start fights. They're the ones that won't listen, and they're the ones that want it their way, or we'll burn the house down. We will sit back and let you do all of that stuff and burn it down while we sit there and watch you do it and still stay calm, and then call the cops afterwards.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
that's the thing I found so so amazing about Jupiter when I went down, Matt, and met these people. Like I said this earlier today to a couple guys. I said I really walked in there thinking, all right, I'm going to meet a bunch of fucking Hell's Angels, black hating, fag hating, whatever
Right,
they were going to call it.
KKK members.
Yeah, like, government, man, we need to kill everybody but white Christians.
Yeah.
It's time. I walked in there, dude. I met people. I was like, what? They're telling me about their gay son who they're trying to get to. And I'm thinking, you guys are just regular people that know shit we don't. That's the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Good, honest, loving people that are aware of things the public isn't. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes down to that side of it, though, if you want like the gay side of it,
yeah.
To my knowledge, everybody on our side, we don't care. We just don't want it shoved down our throats and in our faces all the time. Say when you're adults, do what you want to do in your own bedroom, and we don't want to hear about it, and nobody cares. Do what you do, and everybody I know is like that. So,
and honestly, even a step further, Matrix, you may disagree here, but like I see gay parades, right? Like the Gay Day or whatever it is, right? Pride Month, whatever. And they have the big parades. I have zero problem with it. I'll go stand on the corner and laugh at them dudes in the short shorts carrying a flag with makeup on and shit. Yeah. It's entertaining.
Well, I can one up you on that one.
All right, you don't tell me you're in the parade, Matrix. Are you in the parade?
Actually, a little harsher than that. Then, in my former job, I used to run adult stores.
Sure.
And one of the things I had to do was I ran both the Gay Pride parade tent, and I also ran the VIP section in the gay club or whatever too.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, being a straight dude in those situations, all I can tell you is I learned how to not get embarrassed when a gay dude hit on you, and I got used to it to a point where it doesn't bug me.
See, you're better than I am, because I developed a complex because I didn't get hit on. Like that. What the hell? I'm cute. I'm funny. How come none of you dudes are hitting on me?
Maybe you just don't know, Mick. Maybe you just don't know.
All right. So go ahead, man.
I wanted to ask. So let's let people know who you are, because you are one of the OGs in this movement. But what you clarified with me off the air is that you are not one of the original message board guys. So would you tell us a little bit about your history and who you are?
Right. Well, leading up to Q is kind of a big portion of it too, because before Q ever showed up, what I now look at and reflect on now is basically before Q showed up, I basically had what I call 16 years of training before Q showed up. Make the story simple would be is when 9/11 happened, I was a sophomore in high school, and so I got to have the TV wheeled into advisory class and watch the second plane, quote unquote, plane hit the building on the TV. And the very next day I went into the computer lab, and first thing I saw on the computer when I went to yahoo.com was that Nostradamus predicted the Twin Towers. That was literally the trigger, and it sent me down the rabbit hole. And I went to everything you can think of, whether it's secret societies, the Illuminati, the Masons, numerology, gematria, everything I could get my hands on. And I did that quite literally anytime I possibly could for 16 years. And then, long story short, my pot dealer showed up one day without me calling him. And I'm like, all right, this is weird. What are you coming to me for? And he's like, I got to show you something. So backstory for him is he became my pot dealer because my next door neighbor introduced me. He was also a conspiracy type guy. We always had conversations about conspiracies when he came over. Well, one day he just came to me without me calling him, and he wanted to show me something, see what I thought of it. It was the first Q drop. What do you think about this?
First one, how long had it been out at that point, Matrix?
It was either the day of or the day after I
and this was 2017, I guess, then, right?
Yeah, October 28th or 29th of 2017. Wow. One of those 2 days.
Is there and I'm not being funny. I'm just this type of mind. Do you guys have a name for that day, like D-Day, Drop Day? Like, I don't know. Like, is there anything the community calls it?
I look at just when Q showed up, basically.
Yeah, we got to brand that for the normies.
Yeah,
we got to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what that day was.
What that day was called.
When we commemorated. What is it?
I think we call it D-Day. Let me ask you this:
why did your friend find that drop so important that he thought there was?
Great question.
That he gave it such weight that he felt he needed to bring it to you. Why did he think it was credible?
Well, that's the whole thing is number one, again, I got to look back at it the way this whole thing happened because number one, I didn't know he was somebody on the boards. I didn't know he was somebody that was like that, would even have this stuff. That's why when he came to me originally, I was like, what, like, coming to me, I was like, what are you doing here? And then he brings that to me. He's like, I want to know what you think about this. This is going around and I want to know what you think. And I see Hillary Clinton's going to be arrested. I'm like, at first, I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, man, I'll wait to see if that happens. Because of course, I'm a conspiracy guy. I'm like, that lit my world up. I'm like, that's awesome. But I was like, we'll see what happens. A couple days goes by. It doesn't happen. I go, I'm out. Goodbye. Well,
interesting.
Couple days goes by and he keeps calling me, hit me up. Dude, it keeps going. You really should look into this. You really should. It keeps going. So somewhere between, I don't know the exact timeline, but somewhere between November 10th and 15th. So roughly 2 weeks into it or so, he kept bugging me. So I finally said, okay, I'll listen. So basically I had him come over. He was feeding me the information. I was reading them and I was getting a lot more interested. And then came the period of, I had to wait for one of these aggregator sites because I did not understand these boards that they had because I wasn't a computer guy that did all that stuff. So
you're talking like QAG.news, or is that what it is?
That's one of them. I personally, I use QAlerts.app myself. I haven't got used to QAG yet myself. There's a few sites, but the very first one that came up was early on. Me and Space Shot were trying to figure out how early it was. It was either real late 2017 or early 2018 when the site finally popped up. And that's when I officially had my hands on it for the first time. Because of course I didn't understand the boards.
Right.
So when that started up, so again, I had 16 years of being a conspiracy person, and I see these drops coming up. And if you read the drops from the very beginning, all I can say is like, I was confused. I didn't have any clue what was going on, but the information was very interesting, but I didn't really know what to do with it. So basically what it came down to is I see other people online talking about this stuff and they're trying to break down the information, which I didn't know what was a decode at the time either way. So I was just seeing this information get broke down. Like, what is this stuff? And as time goes on, because of that 16 years prior to this, my gematria, my numerology, all the stuff I had been looking into suddenly started connecting into the stuff I was seeing, which for those that have seen my show, you guys know I make weird out of this world connections out of nowhere that don't make sense. Well, that's because I've been doing stuff for so long. I've been seeing connections for a long time. And for some strange reason, this stuff connected with the Q stuff not long into it. I just started boom, 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 making connections. And I started learning from other people. And then everything just went from there.
Let me ask you something, Matrix. Do you, and this is a respectful question. Do you consider, or are you on the spectrum?
Put it like this. Officially, no. But because of the way my brain works and I see how it is, I think I must be on the spectrum at some level because I'm 100% normal, but I have terrible ADD, ADHD, OCD, and then I can just do this weird number stuff.
So let me ask you a little deeper question. Is because I think it's important that people understand the personalities and the sort of emotional makeup of these guys that are doing this so that they understand where the information's coming from. So Matrix, let me just go a little bit deeper with you. When you say you think you must be, or you've never been diagnosed, whatever, when you're in public, are you comfortable? Like walking around into a group of people, say 100 people, hey guys, what's up? Start talking to 20, 30 people at a time, shooting the shit. Like, are you good in that environment?
I used to be a social butterfly.
Right.
And then when I became a conspiracy theorist, me being a social butterfly became a problem because the first thing I wanted to do is be like, those planes didn't hit those towers, right?
Yeah, they're eating fucking babies. That's me now. Can I help you? I'm like, they're eating babies. No. I'll take a number 3 with a small Coke.
Feeding you babies at McDonald's now, right?
Mickey,
Allegedly.
I've been waiting to tell you that, Mickey.
Yeah, I know.
I was you back then. I went from 0 to adrenochrome, 0 to eating babies. I went from 0 to no planes hit those towers. 3 years after the planes hit those towers, and people were like, you've lost your mind. And I didn't care. I would tell anybody and everybody that would listen. Every conversation I would have, be like, those towers did get hit, right? I lost everybody. Like seriously.
Matrix. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Can I take you back to decode though? Can you explain?
Yeah.
I mean, is that just essentially you taking the Q drop, putting it over the top of a current event and kind of deciphering it? Is that
no? Okay, so how do I, going back to the beginning, how do I want to? So first it starts with learning the information. Okay. But see, with me, because the way I see things, each drop has a number. It's labeled basically 0 or 1 through 4966, 4,966, right?
And you've read all these.
Yeah,
You probably
as they were
quote
yeah,
most of them, right?
yeah, as they were coming out, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, like again, once the aggregator sites was there, I mean, I was waiting on my phone to go off for them to come out, literally. So yeah, I was literally waiting for them to come out. And once I got online, it took me till 2019 or 20 to actually be online. The second they were posting out, I was reposting them online and whatnot. But I wasn't doing that back in 2017 or 18 because for me, something that you guys don't know is I was also doing this stuff by hand. I wasn't putting stuff into a computer and putting stuff like everybody else does. I was doing it all by hand, and I still have 2 massive tubs with about 100 plus pounds of handwritten paperwork that I've done, and I still have all of it from all my work I've ever done. I still own.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible.
Done but that's also why my memory is so good with certain things, because I did it all by hand. So I wrote it down multiple times or remembered it too. So that's the thing. So getting into all this though is as I was doing the stuff, I started noticing patterns in, like, say, drop numbers with their dates, different time stamps that, again, to me, I can't tell you why, but they would stick out to me. And I would notice, well, this has the same timestamp as this one. Well, this one has information that links to this one. And this one's numbers also. And so I started putting stuff together like that early on. And as they just kept coming out, because I was in them early on, I was able to connect stuff early on to stuff as it came out later as well. So for me, it just started building from the beginning. Once I started hitting certain connections, and again, for me, most people know typically is numbers, but I see patterns is what I see. And I would catch those patterns and start putting things together, and it was like a snowball. Just started going downhill, and just it ballooned.
If I can say something on top of this, and it's interesting to hear you talk about it this way, because the way you're talking about it, there seems to be levels of this. For instance, you can look at all these drops, and your pattern recognition is able to put things together, and you go bang, 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 and that makes sense to me. What I think I've been able to do, Matt, and I think you're that way too, and you're still learning it all. I do it with systems. I go, okay, if this is the system they're talking about, this is how this system works. Well, that system would affect this system that way. So if this system is doing this, clearly it would make this system do this. But I need these guys to help me understand the systems. And that's what they're brilliant at. What I think has happened are the Q guys have literally shown us how these systems work and how they all relate to each other. Now, guys like you and I, Matt, who are used to talking in more general, broader ways, this is where we come in to help the movement, because we can say, listen, if you're an elite Hollywood, blah, 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 whatever, and there's a pattern here of these wealthy, influential, artistic people doing these horrible things, we'll just say with women. We won't even say children yet, with girls on these islands. Epstein in his hearings called them all hookers. He didn't refer to them as underage. Let's just say they were all overage, but these women were being sex trafficked. So then you go, okay, and Hollywood elites are going in there. So if that's what they're into, let's now go back and look at what their product is. Their product is sexploitation. It's child exploitation, kid actors. It's programmed to make us realize that the single white Christian male in every television show is the enemy and the dope and the dummy. You just start seeing the systems of how it all works together, and it's real easy to build this evil pyramid that way. And you see what fits inside the pyramid. But it all started when these dudes said, hey, boys, here's how the systems work. And that's where I think all of this has exploded into the mainstream.
Well, Matrix, what is your process? I mean, what do you do? Do you look at a current event? Is that the trigger for all of it? Do you start with some kind of current event and then start decoding with the drops that have already come?
Well, the word decode has kind of evolved over time as well. The way I do things has greatly changed since the beginning. The way I was doing things from the start, if I would go back and look at some of my paperwork right now, I'd probably confuse myself, actually, because the learning process of learning those comms and then like going through the process of not knowing if you're doing the right work, basically. And here I am, 8+ or whatever years later it is. And now I have have comprehension of what I'm doing. What I do now is just so different. So right now, the what I'm honed in on, what me and my co-host do Monday through Friday, is where we do Fox News very specifically. Most people know that. I've coined it Fox Comms. So basically how it works is the simplest version would be, we're watching Fox News, and they will have, whether it's words on the screen or words that come out of their mouths, parts of their stories or something like that, something that I just know in my head. Basically, it's one of those things where, because I've done the drops for so long, I know certain things. They might say something that triggers me. They might have a word on the screen that triggers me. They might have a person on the screen that triggers me. I don't know. That's the part I can't necessarily explain. But I'll see it. It'll trigger me. I'll know what to go look for in the drops. And of course, if that thing they're showing has a relation to the drops, I typically find it. And that's kind of hard to explain. But if you have a word on the screen, I don't know, Hillary Clinton. All right, Hillary Clinton's on the screen. All right, go into the drop, type in Hillary Clinton. Oh, there's this many drops. Okay, well, let's just say there was only one drop that said Hillary Clinton. Well, what are the odds that Fox News shows Hillary Clinton on February 16th, and the only drop in the drops is on February 16th that has Hillary Clinton? It's like those type of things.
That's the weird thing that I think some people dismiss as sort of charlatan. Like, they're saying, oh, well, it's coincidence. You're right. However, when it's coincidental 50 times, is that really a coincidence?
You got to kind of start paying attention to that, right?
And I think these guys like Matrix, like News Treason, like Rambo, like Abs, like Stormy, they just like he said, something triggers their brain that sends them back in.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell Matrix, like I've told Rambo, Treason, Abs. Some of it, I think, is interesting, but there are misses. And there are, I will call them.
Well, yeah. So let's ask you about that. So are there, are there disagreements between people who are following and interpreting the Q drops, and how do you guys make sense of all that?
Every single Anon's different. That's the thing. Everybody has their own specialty. So everybody also has their own theories. And of course, everybody's going to have, put it like this, we might have the same basis for certain things, but everybody's going to have a different pieces to it, like how they think certain things work. Like, let's just say this, Joe might say this is full control, and this person might say, well, it might not be all the way control, but I'll agree with you. Everything is down the line, it changes everywhere. So I actually have something pulled up right now to give you a simple example, a very simple one, a very baseline one for you guys, give you an idea of what I'm actually trying to show you here. So let me pull this up.
Go ahead, Matt, throw that in for him. All right, here we go.
This is already a finished one here, so this is nice and easy for you. So forget the 12-12 you see over here, but you have Jesse Waters. This is back on December 12th, 2025.
Okay.
So on the screen, I see Dems transition to Grinches, and I see on the screen, I see a picture of Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump is Santa Claus. Now, see, again, this is the part I can't necessarily explain to people because it's something I just know inside my head. I know inside the drops that there's a Santa Claus in the drops that should relate to this. So, of course, in the moment, I'm like, all right, well, I know exactly what to go look for. I go into the drops. I basically type in Santa, and I'll show you guys how this relates to it because the drop I'm going to pull up is down below.
Yeah.
So the search goes for, there's your Santa right there.
Okay.
This is in the drop, this picture?
This is a drop right here. So what I did was, again, this is a finished version, so I got to kind of go back in my brain to how this all went to.
Look at the
December 12th.
Look at the date.
That's the thing. That's kind of why I chose this one, because I just said that.
Yeah, see, it is the bullshit that makes me not able to masturbate anymore, because I think about stuff like this, and it ruins everything. I mean, that's insane, dude.
All right,
you can't not start to pay attention to this. At least dig a little bit deeper into it, right?
Well, let's see what it says though. Yeah, so you see Santa Don, and you see it's on 12/12. So again, let's say this: you guys are watching Jesse Waters. You just see that go by your screen. You just saw Donald Trump and Santa. You have to think nothing about it,
right?
Well, for me, I see Santa Don, so I know there's a Santa in the drops. I know what it relates to. And it did just so happen that when I pulled it up, that the date of this thing that they showed on was 12/12, and the drop that I'm showing you guys is on 12/12. Drop 2598, and it's back from 2018.
Come on.
This is from 2025 on December 12th, by the way. Again. So what's inside this drop? It says confirmed. O made into Q. More to find over time. Happy hunting. Q. Now, what do you mean by that? Is inside this picture of the Santa Claus, you see a couple things circled. You have the hammer, and the O was made into a Q. So it's actually labeled with, I think it's QA, but it's got a Q there actually.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have your Santa Claus hammer time. Santa with a hammer, signed by QA. This Christmas, we want justice. Confirmed. QA, QAnon, hammer. More to find over time. They're telling you this. They're giving you stuff. Happy hunting. And it landed directly on the date, Santa Don, and then the Santa Don.
Yeah.
Matrix, what does Fox Comms mean? Is that just you basically are connecting Fox to Q? Or is there a hint that maybe perhaps someone at Fox is in this? Maybe it's a Rupert Murdoch. Maybe it's somebody at that level that's been read in, and they're helping get the word out. Is that the message?
Well, here's what it is. So this is the Fox News logo.
Right.
And because I'm coming up on 3 years of covering Fox, and again, I've just honed in on Fox, and I've just so good at what they do. I just created my own logo, and I decided to call it Fox Comms because they're giving us comms. So I named it Fox Comms.
Thing.
That's just my logo I created right there.
Okay, I love it. Okay. Just to understand it.
While we're talking about Fox, I mean, can you give me your thoughts just on the mainstream media? I mean, who is in control of our mainstream media, including Fox?
Okay, so in my opinion, especially at this point now, I think all of mainstream media is being run by what the typical easy way to put it would be, say, white hats, but to be legit, it's the military. So what is it? The 4 a.m. talking points or something that all of the media has been getting for all these years, which basically just means they're getting their scripts at 4 a.m., knowing exactly what they're going to be saying throughout the day. So basically what they could do is any news that came out the night before at 4 a.m. the next day, they already had their script for what they were going to attack, say Trump the very next day or whatever, right? So you have the 4 a.m. talking points. So with the mainstream media, though, with Fox specific, okay, so again, because I've been covering Fox and I can give you this part of it being specific, let's see, this is going to be 2023. At the end of May or early June, I think it was the very end of May, Trump did some kind of rally or speech or something like that. And his specific thing he said was basically to watch Fox News. And he named, was it Jesse Waters, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Judge Janine and Judge Janine. He named like 5 different people basically directly on Fox to watch.
Wow.
And what was crazy is directly after he had said that, I logged it, showed it to everybody. I wrote those names down, let everybody know about it. I swear to you, from that point forward, it's like what we were seeing as comms from Fox got just turbocharged.
Yeah.
And things just kept happening like crazy. So with Fox specific, Trump told us it. And in the drops themselves, they actually tell you about Fox. I can actually see if I can figure what one's that.
Let me ask you this then too, man. So if white hats were in control of all of our media, why would the liberal media still be going after Trump so hard as Hitler, as the modern day Hitler?
Well, multiple reasons. Number one, because everything they do is already projection anyway. Kind of like, how do I say this right? So everything they say is basically a lie. So they call Trump Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When they're so they're the ones that were racist. They're the ones that had slavery. But yet they're the ones that are calling us racist and that we want them to be slaves. Everything is the opposite. So in order for this whole operation to work, the media couldn't just flip a switch and change everything and start telling everybody the truth. Mm-hmm. We had to you had to show the people what's been going on all these years. So the whole point of this operation, again, I don't know how far back it goes, exactly where it started. We know for guaranteed 2012 to 2010, but you can go all the way back to JFK and before if you really want to go deep into it. But let's go back 15 plus years, minimal. I don't know the exact wording to it, but what is it? The Smith-Mundt Act, is it? The one that changed the laws?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, for that. So basically, whenever that was, 2012, I think, when basically they were allowed to propagandize stuff.
Yeah.
This sounds crazy, but I almost feel like that was done on purpose by the good guys to allow this narrative to play out the way it is. I feel like if the bad guys did it, there's no way they would have used their propaganda the way they did all this time to make themselves look worse and worse and worse. It almost seems like a chess move by the white hats to purposely make them look worse and worse over time.
You know, I in the beginning of learning all this, you know, over the last 4 or 5, 6 months, I rejected the idea that the military was controlling all of the media. I want to give you, Matrix, my 40,000 foot opinion here and let you annihilate it or confirm it however you see fit. What I honestly believe was that the military now did take over the media. And here's what they did. They broke it into groups. They broke it into the knowing, which is, I think, the Fox crowd. They broke it into the curiously confused, which is the CNN crowd. And then they knew there was a bunch of lunatic idiots that refused to believe anything. So they left MSNBC do what they did. And I think when you see guys like Scott Jennings on CNN, he's literally a plant from the good guys to start breaking through in their world. Because CNN is still a left news agency.
Yes.
You're sending a guy like Scott Jennings in there. He doesn't talk to the lunatics. He doesn't even care about them. He's talking to the guy and girl sitting there that just watch CNN because that's what their parents watched. And that's the news to them. And slowly he's just eviscerating their bullshit. And over time, the people watching it start to go, you know what? This guy is right. If you look around. And I think what's happening is people will start to migrate. The Great Migration goes with the Great Awakening. You will move to the place that is telling the truth. You will get away from those who have led you astray. You'll just leave them. Fuck them. Goodbye. Sorry, boys. I was with you all the way till you denied they're eating babies because they're eating babies. And I think that's what we're seeing. And guys like Matrix and Rambo and Dave, these guys are the ones that are literally in the pit digging up the evidence so that the pretty boys, Matt, you and I only say that because we didn't get dirty through this whole thing. The pretty boys come in and tell the truth of what these guys did. Like that. Matrix, what do you think of the way I broke down the media like that?
No, you actually picked a perfect one too. Scott Jennings is the perfect one to choose.
Yeah.
Because I watch Fox. I'll use one specific show. I don't know if you know it or not, but on Fox, The Five.
It's incredible.
All right. So then you'll know. So either the seat that either Harold or Jessica Tarlov typically sit in is your liberal chair that gets their 4 a.m. talking points. And no matter what goes on, they always say something that makes you want to smack yourself in the head and go crazy. But here's the thing. What's funny about it? They are Scott Jennings on this side. They are the ones that are purposely getting people annoyed. They're purposely getting under your skin by saying what they're saying, by reading their script. And what I've learned is, again, it's like we'll use Jessica Tarlov.
Yeah.
I don't even like to listen to her, but I've learned because I don't like listening to her, she is the one that's dropping the most comms.
Bingo.
That's how they get you.
And
I don't want to listen to her. Well, then you're going to miss it.
And I'll tell you something else when it comes to Harold Ford. I'm going to say this, and I may lose some credibility here in the community. I think it was 2012 when Obama was running. He gave a speech at the DNC, at the convention. And I'll never forget, I think at the time he was a congressman from Tennessee. And at the time, or Kentucky, I forget where he's from. Anyway, he gave the speech. And I remember thinking, I'm watching a young, I can't tell if he's mixed, black, what he is, man who is a Democrat, who I don't agree with a lot, but he sounds a lot like a guy that I could have a conversation with, that at least understands reality. And I think even on Fox, he is a liberal, he is a Democrat, but he is a reasonable and articulate man that I think was sent here for a reason, and that is to comfort the normies coming into this. It's a buffer. I think that's when him and Jessica are purposeful buffers for the newbies. And I think Scott Jennings on the other side is doing the same thing. He's making people in that audience who hated everything about the other side a little less rabid in their hatred. That's my thoughts, Matrix. Yours?
With Harold specific, and well, I guess we'll throw Jessica in there. With Harold, though, He's better than Jessica. I'll give him
Much.
that. But again, how I look at him, I see them both as characters. They're
Sure.
both, and they both read their script. And I'll be 100% honest. Harold is smarter than Jessica, but because I've seen him for so long and over the years, me and Omazon talk about those two all the time.
Yeah.
I think Harold is seriously really, really just straight ignorant. Like we've listened to him talk about his viewpoints about like literal, not liberal viewpoints, like his actual viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there literally. So really, when it comes to Harold, I think he's just a straight up dumb liberal who is literally reading their script. I think Jessica's there to cause problems.
I get it.
I want to pull my hair out with her every day.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
Quick shout out to Claw Paula Chance 01 $10 rant. This is awesome, and it is awesome that you are here. So thank you for being here for that. So Matrix, let me ask you. What do you think is the big motive and the ultimate goal behind Q's activity? I got a 2-part question. So what's the motive? What's the goal? And is Q asking us to take some kind of action? Like, what does Q say is our role in all of this?
Great questions.
Ooh. Well, our role, when you say our role, are you saying the Anons or just the people?
The Anons and people in general that should hear his message or the Q's message, I should say.
Well, the end goal would be to get our republic back and to rid the world, but especially our country, of the people who have infiltrated and taken over every aspect, who's created the IRS, Federal Reserve, stolen everything from us, given us social security numbers, and ruined our lives and made us slaves. I mean, I think that's the end goal overall.
I agree with him. I do, Matrix. I agree with you. Matt or Matrix, did either of you catch any of the Munich Council this week when Hillary Clinton and the other?
I did see the clips of her getting asked about that.
This morning, very early, I watched the entire thing. It was fascinating to see journalists in Europe talking about the United States and its positions in the Ukraine war, liberal versus conservatives in Europe. And Hillary Clinton did her typical bullshit. I'm a smart woman from the West that's college educated, blah, blah, blah. And then I think he's from the Czech Republic. When it was his turn to talk, he basically just looked at her and looked over and said, well, you don't like him very much. That is obvious. Basically called her out on the fact that she's not even talking about politics. She's making everything personal. Mm-hmm. And then to hear them respond to Israel, it's interesting, man, the way they discuss things over there compared to how we discuss things. You clearly see our media is wholeheartedly controlled by someone.
And I think that's on purpose.
Again, I do too.
And there's several drops to say it, but it says you can't just tell people the truth. You must show them. And I think that's part of the last 4 years with for the newbies out there. Yes, I'm going to say this: fake Joe Biden, who wasn't your president. Those last 4 years of hell was part of that, I think. Mm-hmm. To show the people what those people would have done if they were actually in power, to allow so many things to happen, to allow the auto pen to go haywire. And it just so happens the one real signature we get from a fake Joe Biden, but it's the real signature is for his son. Really?
Right. The only one that's authentic is the one that pardons his son.
Now how do you think the normies that are sitting here, that are hearing all the stuff going, wait a minute, he got pardoned after all that stuff? And of course, the normies just know about the laptop and this, that, and the other. And it's like, that's got to blow their minds. It has to.
Yeah. I mean, most people don't know about the millions of dollars that were traded hands from Chinese and Russian assets.
So much.
It's insane. And it's all proven. And the fact that this stuff will eventually, I don't even think a lot of it's going to need to come out. I think.
Oh no, I think a lot. I mean, not everything can come out. They've told us.
Agreed. Yeah.
Matrix. I want to go back to what is Q asking people to take action here? Or what is our role?
Yeah. Do we have a responsibility?
I would. Okay, it's a multi-layered, because again, you have Anon specific in a way responsibility, and then you have everybody's responsibility. So everybody all in one pool would be to basically, I don't know, start paying attention to your community, maybe getting involved in your community, maybe realize who's running your community, maybe be involved with your kids, and basically to how do I say this the right way? Retake our country back the right way, not to get up with pitchforks and go take over the government or nothing like that, to legitimately retake back our country legitimately. And now
Yeah,
for
I
the
think
aim,
so
but
many, I'm sorry, Matrix. I think so many people over time have forgotten this. And this is the most important part of this country. We are the government.
right.
We, the people. We
But see,
pick everyone that goes in. And for years, they took that away from us.
So
We
Right.
were no longer picking them. They were.
So Matrix,
Right.
what does that look like then? You know, as far as us getting involved and making us, you know, we the people, the government again.
Well, that's the thing, though. Too, we're seeing a lot of it happening now. Because if you look at it, like, well, we'll use whether it's the Epstein files. That's the simplest one to use. Lots of resignations going on. People are getting mad about it. Seeing people in high places that were on those. Right there's piece number one to get people mad. I don't know. There's a lot of fraud going on that was allowed to happen all over the place. Minnesota's the first place to fall. Now Nick Shirley's down there in California, and we're getting all that coming out. So there's another wake up call.
Yeah.
And you can and now that fraud in Minnesota is nothing compared to what they're going to find in other places.
I'm sure that's the microcosm of what's happening.
There you go. So as that moves forward, so that's where the anons come into. So the people will get to see on the news the narrative of what's going on, which they'll get the stories about the fraud and whatever Epstein stuff they'll give them, and they'll get people going. Now, when the news starts flooding out, like X News, like we are the news now, when the people's word starts getting out ahead of the mainstream media, that's especially when the anon part will come in. Because I'll read part of one drop. I found this one here. It says, "You are the frame, you are the support. People will be lost, people will be terrified, people will reject. People will need to be guided." That is a big piece for the Anons, is we are here to help guide people. And the reason for that is because, and I don't mean just, it means that almost any Anon or but not even Anon, people that are in the know, basically, that have knowledge of what's going on, to be able to hold people's hand and say, this is what's going on. Like, why is the stock market crashing? Why is this going on? Because eventually that stuff probably is going to go down. Something big has to go down. But whenever that may be, whenever these arrests happen, the normies that are still left are going to freak out and not understand what's going on. And one of the old Joe M video said, whenever the stuff spills out onto the streets, that's where we come into play, because we are going to be the ones to be giving the people some knowledge and calming them down, saying this is what's really going on, because the news ain't going to help all that much. Now, of course, there's people that say, well, what about the national emergency system? That's still a theory. We hope that happens. And yeah, it'll happen the way they claim it, but we don't know that.
What do you mean? What do you mean by the national emergency system?
The EBS, the emergency broadcast system.
I guarantee you 90% of kids under 25 don't even know that thing's real.
Well, back in they did.
It's just the noise they blow off in the.
I don't even think they hear it.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's on your phones. It's every single phone will go off. They did it twice. Right. 2018 they did it, and then they did was it October 3rd, 2018, and October 4th of 23, I think is what it was. They did two of them. So I think what those were for is they were doing the quote unquote test. Mm-hmm. I think, of course, that's the theory. I don't know for sure, but the theory is eventually it will be needed to be used for an actual national emergency. And here again is the theory. The military is going to be taken over. There's big arrests going on. That's the claim. I don't know. So
you think we're going to see a ton of people in handcuffs? All these Epstein files have come out, like you said. We're seeing all these names. You really think that people are going to end up in handcuffs? And in addition to that, who do you think? Who's behind the curtain? Who do you think? Are we going to find out who those people are? The people who are really pulling all the strings.
Who were pulling all the strings? You mean?
Okay.
Yes, I do. I don't know how many or whatever, but I would say a lot of high level arrests. And I do believe, because Trump himself reposted them out fairly recently too, about public tribunals with a picture of him and Obama. He's talked about there's been talks of public tribunals, talks of arrests and all that. And whenever Trump says something, It's only a matter of time before it comes true, because it's not a joke when they say everything Trump has said has become true. And they also say, has anything Trump ever said been false? And if it has, just give it some time and it will become true, because everything Trump has said has been right.
Do you think, Matrix, that possibly what we're witnessing in their eyes is maybe the slowest, most methodical, effective cleanup mission in the history of the world?
That's a great way to put it. Technically, yeah. It's like I said at the beginning. It's like a worldwide sting operation, a worldwide cleanup, and of course, being worldwide, people are like, "Oh, it's taken forever." We don't even realize how long it's been really going on.
That's the thing that I think people will be shocked at. I've gone down this, and because I am a guy that even with comedy, I'm able to do things funny because I try to learn everything about it so that I can speak about it from a 360 and not necessarily from a 180 angle, like just one-sided or whatever. So I look at this thing and I think to myself, okay, when Kennedy was assassinated, I think the military realized, holy shit, our own government's not even protecting itself anymore. I think on a small scale, they stepped in, and over time, they have figured out a way to build a system and put people in place to correct it all. And I think Trump is just the final piece of this reclaim that has taken 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, look at the methodical way they corrupted our Board of Education and what they started teaching kids. You go back to the early 60s and you look at American history. Then you look at a history book in 1969 and you go, what the fuck? In 10 years, everything changed.
Then
our
you
own
look
history.
at who has been feeding us our history. I mean,
Bingo.
I just read that Ghislaine Maxwell's father,
And he's the publisher.
who was a Mossad
Right.
asset, owned McGraw-Hill.
Right.
And McGraw-Hill's the company that gave the United States all of our history textbooks. So they essentially fed us. Well, you can tell me what you know, but what I heard was, they're basically feeding us the history that they want to feed us.
Well, there's a reason why the word history should really be split up to two words, being his story, because it's the story they created for everybody. And it doesn't make a little bit more sense now. Once the History Channel showed up, for the last 20 years, all we ever saw was World War II, Nazi Holocaust stuff on History Channel.
That's what I called it, the Hitler Channel.
Yeah, basically. It's truly what it was. So, yeah, and go back to the JFK thing, though, too. Now, I can't back up exactly what I'm saying, but the Q movement is said to, in a sense, started directly with JFK, and that the secret society part, what he was killed for, of course, is what set them into motion. Is in a sense, because how I think I remember it is basically, it wasn't called the Q group directly, but it's basically what the Q. I can't remember how they worded it. But basically, when the whole secret societies thing came out, he's the starter. He wanted to take all them out. They took him out. And of course, like you said, Trump's basically the finisher. But them taking out JFK was basically the trigger for them to, I guess, go underground, make the plan and move forward. But it took all these years to ever get it into play. And of course, Trump was asked a long time ago if he would run, and they had to wait for the timing of that to be just right for him to do it. So,
and Matrix, I'm curious about your opinion on this theory that I have, and I think it will help connect normies to what we're talking about. When you get to the Kennedys, there's an interesting part of their history that we don't really talk about, and that is this. The Kennedys are looked at as the American royal family. So most Americans think the Kennedys were always, rich, well-to-do people. They forget that John Kennedy's father was a fucking bootlegger. He was a gambler. He was from the streets. Now, he built a fortune that rivaled anyone's fortune. And that gave him power and ability. And he raised his sons, I believe, to say, we're not going to participate in this bullshit. We're not going to let these elite rich assholes that treated us like scum before we had money, we're not going to let them rule the masses. That's why Kennedy went at the CIA. That's why they went at organized crime, because they know behind the organized crime, Joe Kennedy was that. He came from that. He saw the underlings. He knew the players in the real world, because they're all involved in the underground. And Joe Kennedy was, in my eyes, was the first guy that came out and said, hey, I got, in modern days, what would be $1 billion. I don't need you people for anything. Screw all of you. And it was the first time, I believe, since maybe the American Revolution, where people with money stood up and said, yeah, we'll fight it out. This is our country too. Your thoughts on that one, Matrix?
Well, I think that sentiment took a little hit whenever they took JFK out, though, because whenever you put the president in front of the entire world and blow his head off, I mean, it's gonna, those people that were like, oh yeah, I'm not afraid of them, are like, oh, I'm gonna think twice about that now.
Correct.
So that put a big dent into it, and don't forget this too. Right after JFK, what they come up with, I'm say it right. 1967, they came up with the wording. In 1976, it became officially in the law, but the word conspiracy theory became a thing, all because of the JFK. If you don't follow along with their agenda, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Created by our CIA.
Correct.
Is the term conspiracy theorist.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So and I'm a proud conspiracy realist is what I am.
Yeah.
You see it in real life too, right? You see it in real life. You have a disagreement with someone, right? And you're fundamental in your argument. And then what they do is they go, oh, really? So you're going to stand on that. But do you know you're not this? You're not that. You did this. So everything you're saying must be a conspiracy. And there's no room for gray in these people's minds, because gray is where the truth lies. So it's black and white. These people are lunatics. Don't listen to them.
Well, that's the thing, though, with those people also. That's another problem. For those people that are like that, if they're walking down the street and they see you and you're wearing normal clothes, you might be able to walk up to them, say hi, have a whole conversation, and walk away just fine.
Yep.
You see that same person and you're wearing a Trump shirt or Trump hat, they might throw something at you, give you a dirty look, say something to you, start a fight with you. You don't even know, because those people are literally crazy, and they have a problem because of what? The brainwashing they've been fed by the projection, by the propaganda media, literally. They've fed them all these ideas and all this craziness, along with the movies and whatnot too, but the news has fed them this information.
Matrix, we have you for about another hour. I could listen to you talk, but I think the main thing we have you here is for Q, to help people understand Q. So let's get back into that.
Yeah, I got a question that I need your help with, I think, Matrix. So I've heard over and over again that everything in the news is just a movie, and these are all actors. Can you help me understand what is meant by that? It's already done.
Okay. There's also, I guess you can say, there's kind of levels to that too. I fall on a mid-range level, because I am a full control guy. I do think a lot of the things we see is acts in movie, but not everything. Everything is. There are real people. People really do die. Things really do happen. And a false flag that happens, sometimes they're real, where people really die, but it was a situation set up by bad guys for people, or it could be a situation set by white hats where nobody really dies. It's kind of situations that go on. So, let's see. Ask me that question again.
Yeah,
let me reframe.
I'm really trying to understand. If what is meant by this is a movie and these are all actors.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so
but for instance, like, if I watched mainstream news and saw a story,
right?
I don't think I quite understand how those people could be actors and how that could be a movie, or what the motive would be to do something like that.
All right. Well, I'll give you something simple, like something to compare it to. You know how AI has gotten crazy and you can't tell the difference between real and fake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's just say I don't have anything to show you right now, but I've definitely for sure have come across a few times, whether it be on Fox or any CNN or any network, where they're showing somebody from online that's having some crazy TDS moment, and they show it on TV. But as you look at it, you're like, why does that look like an AI video? Like it's fake. Now, using just that as an instance, right? Why would they do something like that? Well, you're trying to get a reaction out of people. Now, let's just say it's the bad guys. They're trying to rile people up. If it's the good guys, and they're trying to get some information out, whatever it may be. Now, let's put some real people into that situation. I'll give you a very simple one. And again, if anybody's new out there, this might be hard to digest, but I'll use something very recent. Minnesota. We have a lady get shot with the last name Good, and another guy who gets shot with the last name Pretty. Sounds like a pretty good situation to me. And if you go into all that stuff, you find out there's a lot of weird things that goes on with it, a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. And let's just say when you get down into the deep stuff, you find out, man, that seemed like that stuff might have been set up. And I say that for very specific reasons. I'll give you one. The lady that was shot was named Renee Good. Renee Nicole Good. The only drop in the drops with the name Renee happened to fall on the same day she was shot.
Shut up. Really?
Yes.
Wow. So wait a minute. You're saying that whatever day that was she was shot, there is a drop that happened on that same date, another year, that mentioned her name.
Well, let's see here. Renee Good. Let me type her name in.
12 seconds. Let him count the toothpicks on the floor, and he'll be right back.
Right.
Remember that scene in Rain Man when he drops the cards or the toothpicks? He's like, 117.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what? He's like, there's 117 toothpicks there. And he was right. I mean,
did he really say 117?
He had the right number. I know. I don't remember. No, 100. That's funny. Yeah.
Let's see. It was less than a month between. Let me find out exactly. When was she shot?
Yeah.
January. She was on. Okay, so she's on January 7th, 2026. Wasn't the exact same day. Here, let me see. Let's see. December 8th, 2017 is the date of the drop. She was shot on January 7th. So remember that we John McCain. Remember the 5-hand, they have a picture of him with his 2 hands up, and exactly 30 days to the day later, done in 30 days to the day later, within like 1 minute or whatever, John McCain was dead. So somewhat similar to that. The drop is 30 days before exactly.
30 days before she was shot, the drop came out, you're saying?
Not came out. The date of it. So December 7th, December 8th is the actual drop, not the year. December 8th is a drop. So it's a delta from 2017.
I see.
Okay. So what this would be is 2024 would be what, 8 years? 7? What?
Yeah.
7 years. So it'd be a 7-year delta. Okay. So, but it's 30 days off exactly. There's only one drop with the name Renee in all of the drops. Okay. She gets shot. It connects directly to this. I wish I'd known I was going to do this too, because I actually have a full decode for this. I put this together already. So I'm doing this off of pure memory here. All right. So Renee Good. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Now I'm doing it off memory.
While you're looking, Matt, think about this. And I'd love the people in the chat room to comment on this as well. And I think what you're asking about the players and the actors and all that. Imagine that somebody does have full control. Like say the military is just going into the newsrooms and saying, look, whether you like it or not, here's the 5 stories you're going to do this week. Whether you like it or not, you're going to ignore this. Whether you like it or not, you're going to do this. And the news channels do it. Now, in order for that to work, they have to have players in place to carry these things out.
Gotcha.
That are read in.
So it's not all fake. It's not all a movie. Some of it's
correct.
real. I think that's what
Correct.
Mitch was saying.
Correct.
There is a combination.
But there are psyops being thrown in for us to give us a message.
And what you're seeing that Israel is reactions from the people who are not in on it.
Yeah.
So it's a way for the public to say, look, the players that are in control are saying this. Watch how people react and what they say in counter to that. That will let you know what side they're on and who they're protecting. So that is what I've said this from the beginning. What Q did really was teach us how to communicate with each other. And in doing so, as long as you're using that method for good, it's going to suck. But a lot of bad is going to get discovered from good people.
I got to stop. Hold on. So I get where you're going with that. So we're watching the mainstream news.
Correct.
Some of it is obviously real stories, and you're going to get your local news. It's real stuff that they're reporting on and things like that. But some of these big stories could be psyops. Now, make it make sense in my head where our media is completely controlled by white hats.
How do I make it make sense to you?
Yeah. Some of it sounds like it would be a black hat propaganda fest where they're trying to make you think the opposite of what is actually happening.
Well, that's literally what they're doing in a sense, though.
The white hats are. The good people are doing that.
I think they're actually poisoning their own media so that the delivery system of information changes. I think they're trying to tell you right now, the good guys, that all this shit you've been watching for 25, 30 years coming out of quote unquote newsrooms is nothing but propaganda. I think shows like these, Matrix, Rambo, are the new future
the problem
of truthful information.
Is there are leftists that are running around the country with signs who believe everything that is coming across in the liberal media, though.
That's that's going to happen.
Here, this thing is the liberal media. They, again, it's even if the white hats have control of it, again, you can't just walk in and change the stuff. You have to let them keep doing what they were already doing, which is the lie. Okay. Now, with the white hats taken over, not only do you let them keep lying, but you're the one in control of their lies.
Yeah.
So you are, it's like Ron Burgundy, right? He's going to read everything you write down, including to tell them to go F themselves, San Diego. And those people at that table will do the same thing. And there's a reason why. Either one, they themselves are actors, or two, they have been captured because they were blackmailed themselves. And they are now in a position where they have to do what they are told or else. So they will do everything they're told. So their script is written for them and they will do exactly as they're told. You have Scott Jennings on the one show. What is it? On whatever the channel is, CNN or whatever it is. He's been placed in there by the white hats. Now, in the past, would you have ever imagined seeing somebody like a Republican, hardcore conservative be allowed on CNN and to dog every one of them around that table and go in circles or run in circles around them ever? And they say nothing to him.
I cannot.
How is that even possible?
This
because
is what
white hats have control of it.
Matrix, let me tell you something. Not only do I agree with you, I'm going to put you on a pulpit here because you've articulated it beautifully. Can you imagine, Matt, if we brought a guest on this show and every word we said, this guest eviscerated it, just annihilated it from the moment we started talking?
Yeah.
Eventually, two things are going to happen. We either going to look him in the eyes and go, you know what, man, you're right. We're sorry. We're in.
So that's part of the slow drip.
We're going to get rid of him. Explain why neither one has happened. They haven't gotten rid of Scott Jennings, and they haven't accepted the Kool-Aid yet.
So that's the slow drip. Is this what you're telling me?
I think
yes. And so I made I don't date fag, but I made a slight prediction that came true.
Tell people what that means, because I don't even know what it means.
Date fag is when you put two dates together and they're the same gender.
Well, making
I have no idea
that's
what it means.
Making a prediction about something happening on a specific date.
Yeah.
So I myself, being a numbers guy, I do a whole lot of calculations where I'll take a date from this and see where it leads to, how many days between them, how many years, all this stuff. And I'll see where, special numbers come into play and whatnot. But, I guess that's the way I do it, is all my numbers and whatnot. But, Mickey, restate what you just said. You got me lost in my thoughts here.
That's okay, buddy. So here's what I'm saying. I truly believe
we're talking about the slow drip. Is what we're
talking.
Okay,
no, stop. Hang on. Let me slow drip. Okay, so the slow drip. So I made a slight prediction back, not last July, but the July before. As me and Omazon were watching the news, of course it was Fox, we were seeing a pattern happen. And this was I actually know the date still. It was the very last day of July of 2023. The 2 months leading up to that, we saw this weird pattern where the news was getting, like, especially the left side of the news was getting crazier and crazier. And the people that were the Jessica Tarlows on the show, they were getting like wild. They were getting like really extra feisty, right?
Yeah, it was
so
crazy.
At the end of July, at the start of August, I had said on our show, and I said it multiple times, I said, I have a prediction. I said, as we've been seeing this, I said, as we move forward, I was like, as bad as it's been the last couple of weeks or months, it's going to get worse and worse. And what we're going to end up seeing is everything we see from these people on the news, especially on the left, is going to get crazier and crazier, dumber and dumber, to the point where nobody's going to be able to even like stand them and ask what the hell is going on.
So,
and
like,
here we are,
Democrats or people that are left but not leftists are going to go, wait a minute, this is too crazy for me.
Yes.
And here we are, a year and a half plus, or coming up on, I guess, 2 years later, or 3 years, 2.5 years later, and it's literally coming true right in front of our eyes. And it's like, I brought it up multiple times recently, like, hey, I said this a little while back, look how crazy it's getting. It's like, you can't even believe some of the stuff that's coming out of their mouths. And again, I think that's on purpose, because you can't just throw it all out there. You get the Epstein files to come out, There's your drip right there. People go crazy. You got all your drips. And what happened on the news? They tried covering that up. How'd they do that? Oh, somebody went missing that we don't care about.
Here's where I think Matt and I are, I hate to say it this way, but there's no other way to say it, sort of a godsend to this community, because we understand the influence of corporate pressure, of advertising pressure, of script writing, of sort of how to manipulate things you're saying. What I think they are really doing in the end here, the end game is this. They are going to, the good guys, the white hats, absolutely annihilate mainstream media. They are going to allow it to implode by its own design and its own reactions.
Exactly.
And what's going to happen after that, and this is where I don't think this community really understands what's happening, because you've waited so long. I really do believe the next media sensations, popular things are coming out of this movement. This is a movement that has stuck to its guns journalistically. I don't even know if that's a real word. And has stuck to the fact that the truth is the truth. I don't give a shit what letter is applied to any human. They're eating babies. They're trafficking women and children. They are burying us in debt and interest. They are doing all of these things, and no one tells anybody that. And now they have a place where people can, for free, on their own volition, show up and go, well, what's going on? And you just tell them. I do believe, I'm not saying me and Matt, but somebody and many people from this community are going to. But it's me and Matt. What's that?
But it's me and Matt.
But it is me and Matt are going to break out and be able to really explain this to normies and point them to Matrix, Rambo, all of these researchers that have done nothing but try to prove truth.
Yeah, we're trying to be that bridge.
I think the liars go away, and that's the mainstream media.
And on your point, Mick, you know, Matrix, the Epstein files. I mean, we've heard about the child trafficking, cannibalism, torture, the corruption throughout our country and the world. You know, how important do you think these files, these release files, have been in verifying what Q supporters have been saying about what is really happening in our country and the rest of the world? And was this part of the plan?
Oh, yeah, 100% part of the plan. You go all the way back to the WikiLeaks stuff that, if I'm correct on my brain, I think July 22nd, 2016 was the first day that the first original dump. That was 17 days after Comey originally dropped the case for Hillary Clinton on those emails, if I'm correct as well. So that started a whole thing, right? So, but here's the thing: when Q shows up and we're all, you know, these QAnon people, they think they're eating babies and this, that, and the other, they're crazy. And of course, you know, they say something to Trump as well. And it was Savannah Guthrie, by the way, who asked him the QAnon stuff, and whose mother's missing right now. Oh, that's right, Savannah Guthrie. When she asked Trump about QAnon, well, you know, she's the same thing. Oh, you know, they think they're satanic pedophile, this, that, and the other. And Trump's like, you know, is that a bad thing? He's like, yeah, I don't know anything about him. Is that a bad thing?
It's one of the greatest. I'll be honest with you. It's one of the, I believe he got ridiculed for it. And when you watch it in hindsight now, it's one of the greatest, most presidential answers I have ever seen. He defended it. Let's say he did know, right? Let's say that Trump is Q. Okay, if Trump was a Green Beret and he was captured by a group of enemies in enemy territory, and they were interviewing him, and they said, "Where are your troops?" or "There are more," and he looked at them and he went, "No, it's just me," he'd be a fucking American hero. But because he sat in front of what I call the enemy, the bullshit media, and defended Q and just went, "I don't know anything about them. I know that they hate kid fuckers. I'm good with that. How about you? Don't you think people that are pedophiles should go away?" Is that a political statement? It was masterful. And look what is now coming to fruition.
Well, not only that, though.
True, and he defended it. It was beautiful.
Well, not only that, though, you got to remember this, when the whole Pizzagate thing out with that whole common pizza and all that stuff, too. So the people in our community or any truther or any conspiracy person that heard about that or that was into that, well, again, we were called crazy lunatics. They even had people in the media shooting us down. You'd get banned off at different places. So it's like, you were shunned to death. And here we are, however many years later, and we're having Bill Maher of all people telling Stephen A. Smith that we need to apologize to QAnon. I'm like,
this
holy
is
hell, how far have we come?
So what do you think? Is this the atom bomb, where the Epstein files, the atom bomb that are going to bring all this to the mainstream?
See, that's the thing, is I hope so. But here's the thing, is I still think, yes, it's going to be a big piece of it, because again, it's going to open people's eyes. But here's one problem with it right now specifically. This Savannah Guthrie thing, since the Epstein files dropped, she's been missing. Fox specifically has been covering that almost nonstop, not giving any airtime to those Epstein files. They changed the narrative. They took over the narrative as soon as the Epstein files dropped. So here's the question. Yes, the Epstein files can do a great job, but who's going to cover it but us? If the news, even Fox, and I'm a Fox fan because I cover them, even Fox is just basically, well, Savannah Guthrie's missing. Let's give you an update. The update is we don't have an update, but let's give you another update. There's no update. That's all they've been doing all week.
Matrix, if I may, and I think you've seen and heard me enough to know that I am coming at this with nothing but respect and admiration for all of you. But let me say this, because it's an important part of, I think, this movement, a bridge that we have to cross on our own. I think some of you are jaded and angry at the lack of efficiency in cleaning this up, that you've been so involved for so long that you don't trust the movement anymore as far as results. So let me just say this. I think where we're entering now is an area where you guys are slowly going to be given credibility, slowly, because of the way you were positioned first. It's not going to make sense to the rest of the world that now all of a sudden the racist, skinhead, black, gay-hating people are the saviors. So what's happening, I think, is a quote-unquote decoding of who you are for the public. And I think that's why guys like Matt and I are important to this, to explain that to others, that we were with them. We looked at you guys like a bunch of autistic dorks that sat in a basement playing with train sets instead of touching girls' boobs. I mean, I'm just being honest with you, bro. That's what I thought coming into this. And now I realize you're a bunch of brilliant dorks sitting in a basement not touching girls' boobs.
What,
so
you know what's funny
about that, buddy? I'm kidding.
Wait,
But you know what I mean.
You know what's funny you say that, though, is because literally 15 years ago, I would have said the same damn thing if I seen people doing this stuff, because I'm a sports guy my whole life. I played sports my whole life. I was not a computer guy. I play disc golf, and I have a bad knee now, but it's like I still do that stuff. I'm in no way, shape, or form a nerd or a computer guy, but my brain, yeah, once my brain starts going, yeah, you'd think I'm an autistic crazy person. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the beauty of that is you're not. So it's like a fox in the hen house. They're all looking at you like you're stupid and a dork. Meanwhile, you're just twice as smart, twice as aware, and twice as adaptable. You literally you've already figured out what's going to happen. So
no. Here's the difference, though. And people that watch my show know I say this. There's something I like to preach. I haven't said it a whole lot lately because nobody's really been too jaded. But I preach and try to tell people about patience.
Yep.
Because number one, some people are like, well, I've been waiting for 5 years. Well, I've been waiting for 8 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this. I'm only 40. I've been doing this for 25 freaking years already. Yeah. I've been waiting too. But what have I learned? And what has Q told us? What has Trump told us? The wheels of justice turn slow. This is a worldwide, realm-wide operation that we don't know exactly when it started even. We don't know how far along it is. We think we know what's going on, but we truly don't. We have no clue, actually. But at the same time, it's like anybody that says they know what's going on, they're lying to you. Because every day I think I know what's going on. I learn more stuff. The more I think about it, the more I realize I don't know anything.
Well, there's a lot of people who believe that this has all been taken care of. Like it's already done. Are you one of those people that believes this is they've already kind of completed the mission and now we're just finding out about it?
I do believe we've already won. I do believe the main part of the mission, the heads of all these things, have been taken out completely. Yes, I do. We're seeing the street level cleanups now that can be brought to the narrative, to the streets for people to actually see, because the big stuff has already been done. And if you go back to when the drops were dropping, a lot of the drops that we see now that we're like, oh, here it is hitting 5, 6, 7 years later, also actually happened in real time too. So the stuff that you saw happening in real time suddenly is on the news 4 or 5 years later. And you asked me earlier, how are we seeing something now that was said to be this long ago? Well,
Yeah.
the drops told you when it happened, and it did happen, but nobody knew about it until they showed you on the news. But we
And they're
saw
what,
it
they're
5
being-
years ago.
They're being recreated now. Is that what's happening? You think?
That's the thing. That's the theory. There's a couple of different theories to it. So one would be this. So either you're reenacting it, or you're seeing the original footage claimed to be new or fresh.
Interesting.
So there's different ways you can look at it. Again, I don't know which one's true or right. I just know that there's a hell of a lot of situations that you basically, once you break it down, you get, crazy anons looking at it, you'll find the reasons or ways that you can tell it's either fake or staged or whatever it may be. And there are people like that out there that go deep into it and realize a lot of the stuff we see is set up. A lot of it.
Being around showbiz my whole life, movies, TV, radio, comedy, whatever it is. I've been around music. I've been in showbiz my whole life. It's one thing I've learned is there's really no better storytellers in the world than entertainers. And I do understand that from a top level, you would look at this and you would go, why would you do something 7 years earlier and predict something and it ends up not happening for 7 years? I honestly believe, and I'm serious, that a lot of this stuff was sort of, in a weird way, manifest destiny. They predicted these things and they knew how to make them happen. That's what I think.
You're close. You're really close, actually, to how I think too.
Okay.
I'll give it a little different twist to it.
Sure.
Slightly different. So the situation actually happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are you going to present it to people? How do you present it to people? So 7 years ago, let's give you something I don't want to really say out loud, but I'll just go ahead for anybody out there that's new. Hillary Clinton gets arrested back in 2016, right?
Is that a truth? Are you telling me that really happened?
It depends how deep you would like to go with that. There's video of her.
I just want to go as deep as your final answer. Let's
put this. We saw her with her hands behind her back, being drug into a black van that
I
she
wish we had that video.
to get into.
We played that video.
I mean, you can take from that what you like, but it seems at that date was September 11th, 2016. So not long before the election. If you know what Hillary Clinton's double looks like, she has a little bit bigger, higher cheekbones.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Yeah, you.
And when you say double, what is that? What
literally,
is it somebody wearing a mask? Is that a clone?
A doppelganger. She has a literal doppelganger that people have seen. You can find pictures of her.
There's another woman on Earth that's as ugly as that bitch.
I'm telling you. Because here's the thing: they need the doubles, right? Well, this double literally looks so much like her that it's hard to tell the difference. But the difference you can tell is her cheekbones, very specifically. You can tell.
Yeah.
In my opinion, from the time we thought we saw her arrested moving forward, I keep seeing the same Hillary Clinton that has those higher cheekbones.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you want to go one deeper, I'll give you one more, which would be Joe Biden.
Yeah, do this.
If you go back to the funeral for George Bush Sr., that was on December 5th, D5, 2018. If you look closely at the video, you will find that Joe Biden's ear is already attached, and that's already the replaced Biden all the way back in 2018. So somebody tell me, how far along are we truly into this operation? Because he was taken out long ago.
Well, let me ask you, I'm trying to make sense of like somebody being a body double for somebody like Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden. I mean, the president, or, whatever Hillary was at the time that she had a body double running around. I mean, how does that play out for the person that is a body double? I mean,
I don't know.
Sworn to complete secrecy, but how are they living their lives?
I honestly wish I had that answer.
Families of those people.
I don't know.
just accepting this as, Hillary's in jail, whoever that is to them.
Well, imagine.
Well, that's I don't. That's the thing is, I don't. That's a really hard question to answer because you got to.
I don't know if it is.
It seems like a lot of people to keep quiet is what I'm saying on a day-to-day.
Well, you got. Well, think about this: the worldwide cabal. Okay, think about the power that they had around the world, right? To where if you said something, you suddenly got a knock at your door, found yourself winding up dead because you said something.
Yeah.
Okay? That power can be used in each direction. So when your white hats take over, you have control of these people. I mean, just like anybody with blackmail, nobody would talk because they were told not to talk or this would happen. Well, if you flip it around the other way and say you're going to do this or this is going to happen, you can make people do the exact opposite for you.
So they've got into the heads of, whoever's married to fake Hillary and fake Joe Biden. They've gotten into their family and friends' heads. And
I don't understand. I can't explain to you how that works because that's you're talking inside stuff that I would never, ever know. I don't know how they could go about that, but they have leverage. They have the power and leverage to do this stuff. So I don't know.
Let me say it this way. I think we've all matured enough as a society to realize that we all have shit in our lives that we would never want anyone to know because it's not representative of our true character. It's low moments. It's mistakes we've made, whether drug or alcohol involved. And I think they have all of it. I think they know everything about everyone. So when they walk into Joe Biden's house and the family stands up and goes, "What are you doing?" They look at Jill and they go, "Jill, look at your emails from February 2009 to January 2010. That tells you you shut up. Hunter, we have everything we need to expose you for the demon you are. Shut up." To the grandkids, your family is evil and the people running it are evil. It's not your fault, but you're going to be quiet and you're going to live a happy, quiet life afterwards. I think it is the ultimate hammer being dropped down on society, and average people just shut up under pressure.
I get that part. I get that part of it, but the part I'm thinking about is, whoever the guy is that's the new Joe Biden, right? Charlie McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the guy who went to grade school with Charlie McGillicuddy goes, "Look, there's Charlie McGillicuddy on TV.
Right.
Looks like Joe Biden."
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. How do you how do you keep things quiet on that type of a scale?
Well, Joe Biden's a little different. So Joe Biden's a little easier to give an explanation for. So if Joe Biden was gone since at least 2018, whenever the George Bush Sr.'s funeral happened. All right. So again, just think about this logically. If Jill Biden is really Jill Biden, and that is not Joe Biden, but a guy wearing a mask, do you think Jill Biden wouldn't know that wasn't Joe Biden?
Sure,
no,
sure.
Of course she would. Would Hunter? Yes, he would know. Everybody would know. So what does that tell you? All of them have to be in on it. And when I say in on it, that means they were captured and forced to be in on it and play the entire role.
Everybody's an actor, Matt. Get it? Everybody's playing a part.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is Joe Biden. There's literally just too many things I could say about that. Everything about that Joe Biden we saw is wrong. Everything about it. There's just no way, and no, there's not. And you couldn't pay me to say that was the real Joe Biden.
Matrix, if I may jump in here, because there's a very, very telling part of this that I've been told recently that I can't get, and I want to know if you buy it. And you may have to read through what I'm saying to understand me. I was told that there is a official government memo that was either in, I don't know the letters. I wanted to say an NDI report, NID, and IDN report, something. Those three letters that basically declared in official language that Joe Biden was an imminent threat to national security. Are you familiar with this document?
Let me ask you one thing. Is that something recent?
I believe it was during or before his presidency, and I believe that it was in a report by a man where it was a report given, and it states in this report that Joe Biden is a threat to national security.
Now, those exact words,
Yeah.
no, but I do
Okay.
know of a very specific one of calling Joe Biden a traitor to our country.
Maybe I'm paraphrasing. And where does that come from?
That would come from Mr. Joseph Biden. It's a letter he received from a guy they call Mr. JFK Jr.
Wow.
And I have it sitting right here. I can show it to you.
Oh, how convenient. It's the beauty about Matrix. His brain has 8 million doors, and he knows what's inside of every one of them.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. I mean, just when you're able to, see something in the news and just be able to reference it and say that's something that's in the drops. Will we bring this up, Matrix?
Yep. Go for it. I got two versions of it. So one's easier to read than the other. Here's the easier one right here. So I don't know if this is the one you're talking about, but this is the one that I thought of the second you brought it up here. So this is a letter from John F. Kennedy Jr. to Senator at the time, Joseph Biden, on August 26th of 1994. John F. Kennedy Jr. wrote to him, there it is, "You are a traitor," and bearing the signature, John F. Kennedy Jr. And there's a big backstory behind that as well. But let's just say this has a big piece, in my opinion, onto why Joe Biden was the one that was the last president we saw in office, because it has to do with who you talked about earlier, the Kennedys. So yeah, that's a theory I should not get into
Fair
today
enough.
necessarily.
Now, Matrix, I know there's some things you wanted to show us today. I'm excited for that. But I got to ask you first off, who do you think Q is?
Exactly that person I just showed you, John F. Kennedy Jr.
Really?
Yes.
Matt,
do a lot of people share your opinion?
It's kind of split. There's people that fully support that and are all over it, and there's people that think I'm absolutely a lunatic for it because he died in a plane crash. I'm like, well, you also thought planes hit the building on 9/11, didn't you? Well, I saw him on TV. Well, I saw stuff on TV too that didn't happen.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff, the world's not going to hear yet until this other stuff. See, man, I look at this totally different than a lot of these guys. I look at this as a performative thing. We are watching a movie, a play, whatever you want to call it, and there's many acts to it. The JFK Jr. thing, I used to poo-poo and laugh until I started putting a couple things together. Number one, it was his father who I believe started the Q movement. I believe it. I also believe that the assassination was done by the CIA. I mean, I don't know all the players, but that's what I believe.
Well, somebody told me this is what I've heard too. Thought it was 10 people and 3 of those were non-military. I've heard that before as well. What do you make of that?
Okay, so it's actually less than 10 people. So it's 9 or less. 3 are non-military. So again, this is 100% my personal theory.
Yeah.
So Q is a group, okay? But that group has a head. There's 9 people apparently that make, I'll call the triangle of Q. I think the head guy is Q, and then you have number 2, who is Q plus. Who is Q and Q plus? Well, if you let me take the screen one more time.
Take it all day.
Drop 1082 gives us POTUS and JFK Jr. Relationship. What was their relationship? Well, it just so happens they were best friends. Plane crash, 1999.
We're talking about Trump and JFK Jr.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
POTUS, which is Trump, and JFK Jr.
Matrix,
Their
can you
relationship.
zoom in a little bit on this? Is that possible? If not, no big deal, but just wondering if you can. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, my friend.
So then it brings up the plane crash of 1999. It doesn't say he died. HRC, Hillary Clinton, Senate 2000, the start. Now, what does that mean? Then it says enjoy the show. So July 16th, 1999, John F. Kennedy Jr.'s plane went down. on November 7th, 2000 was the election that was supposed to be between JFK Jr. and HRC for the governor of New York, but his plane had gone down, so she easily won that seat. So, and again, in this drop, something I reference all the time, you have the two best friends. It talks about the relationship. What was the start was when she tried to take him out. So if JFK, quote unquote, started Q for simple wordage, and Trump's the finisher, I don't think Trump's actually the finisher. I think JFK Jr. is the finisher, and Trump's like it's like Batman and Robin. They're the dynamic duo, basically.
By the finisher? Is that what you mean by the finisher?
By the finisher, as in seeing it to the end, finishing the job, finishing off the cabal, finishing off the deep states, draining the swamp, however you want to word it, taking them out type of thing, the finisher. So JFK's the starter, Trump / JFK Jr. is the finisher is how I see it. So, I'm trying to think here. How can I go about this real quickly? Let's see.
You're saying the start was Hillary trying to take out JFK Jr.
JFK Jr. Yes. Yeah. When that plane went down, of course, you got to go by the narrative, which of course JFK Jr. died that day, right?
Yeah.
Well, witness protection program, very simple. Like you guys may have heard recently, a ticket to Valhalla, maybe. So something like that. So witness protection program.
The interesting part of all this, Matt, that I don't think the average person even understands is you got to even go one step. What Matrix just showed us is, in my opinion, that's the gateway to what's really happening. He was odds-on favorite to destroy anybody for that seat. I mean, I forget the percentage he was up, but it was like Hillary was pissed. The machine was not working. Now, interestingly, the conspiracy of him not dying started, I think it was like 2000, right after the election. Now, here's the weird part. There are pictures of there's one very famous one where there are a bunch of dressed military men, and then they form the letter Q in front of a military base. And dude, right in that group of men, it is either John. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Go to John F. Kennedy Jr., dude. Look at that picture right there.
Wow.
Come on, bro.
Where did this picture come from, by the way?
I can't believe
it's in the drops.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen.
Is this a real photo? Do we think?
Yeah. It's a real photo.
And look, Matrix, if you can zoom in and show what the actual barracks are, where this was taken, and why that matters. First Theater, explain why that's so important to everything we're talking about.
And what years are we talking about? When was this picture taken?
What was that, 17, 18?
Probably 18, most likely. I can't remember the exact drop number. It's 18 or 19, one of the two. But
explain that military base, Matrix, for them.
Well, I mean, look at the name of it. Headquarters, First Theater Sustainment Command. U.S. Army Central. Can't read the
dude. That's
Look
at the sign to the left with that arrow. It's a Q, dude. And is Q not the highest military clearance there is?
Yes. What is it? The Department of Energy. It's the highest clearance you can possibly get. Is called Q clearance.
Dude, I'm just saying.
And we're talking about this movement is not just our military, but you're saying the major military powers of the world, the militaries, have gotten together. And are we essentially in a battle with the intelligence agencies of the world?
Okay, so that's a broad way to put it. Yes, I guess you could say it that way. So how the drops would put it would be the simple route. Okay, so you have the three main guys. You have the USA, Russia, and China working together to take down the New World Order. So those are your three major players. So of course it can't just be us three. So what you said is correct. So basically you have the main three powers that are going to take down the cabal. Of course, anybody who's going to be on our side, however they went about that, of course, they would have gotten together and this plan would have had to gone forward. Again, I don't know when it started, but look at the Russia-Ukraine thing. Ukraine's the biggest hotbed and where their like main location was. That's where they had all their what was it called? The biochemical labs and whatnot that was up by the Russian borders and whatnot. Like that was their main hub.
Yeah.
So it's like you had to have the world come together to take these people down. You had to get all the good guys, which we call the white hats now for simple term. But yeah, you had to come together. The three main world powers had to come together with whoever else is all in on it to take this whole entire worldwide cabal down. And as you guys know, for however many years it's been, they've controlled us. And the whole pedophile stuff's been going on for thousands of years. It goes back to the Bible times.
Yeah.
So this stuff's not a joke at all.
No,
while I have this up, have you guys seen JFK's gravesite?
Oh my God, dude, have you seen this, man?
I'm not sure.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I have seen this. That's incredible, man.
Well, it's actually
too.
not gravesite. It's his eternal flame site. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, look, Matrix, this has been an hour and 40 minutes of literally mind-blowing stuff, because we're not just learning about history, we're learning about how to create the future. And for the first time, citizens have a voice in it, because we can analyze what's happening in real time and we can demand things. And this will not work unless we get the masses here. And I firmly believe, and I'm way new to this, so I'm saying I could be an idiot. I really believe that what we're watching is first the dismantling of the information highway, and at the same time, you're seeing the building of the new one. And it's us, not me and you, the movement. We are literally, you're going to start seeing mainstream people coming on this show with Matrix, with Rambo, and it's going to be glorious. And it's in those moments where we have to realize, okay, guys, we have to be responsible. We have to be inclusive. We have to be fair, because there's going to be people that are smart as hell.
Yeah, man, you must feel like you going out in the street and screaming, "I told you so." At this point, now that the Epstein files have dropped and some of the mainstream has been touching on it.
I'll say that on the inside, yeah, I feel the "I told you so" stuff, but
you would be justified in doing that, but
like,
you probably aren't.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. Because of my past, because of how I came up in all this, because of what 9/11 did to me, because I did get shunned already all those years for doing that, I don't have that same aspect, because I did go through this, because after all the stuff about conspiracies 9/11, literally after Q came out and all the stuff started happening, those people back then were coming to me going, "Hey man, didn't you say?" And I just stared at them. Yes, I did. 20 years ago, I told you this, did I not? And they're like, "Well, I thought you were crazy." And then back, of course, I was, I told you so. But now that I see how it goes, again, I'm teaching people patience, because this stuff's not going to end tomorrow. We might have to wait till this Trump term's over into the next one, because Q does tell us, we have a plan after Trump. It's not going to end tomorrow, guys. So patience is the key. So for me, no, I don't need to tell anybody I told you so, because I'm still riding the wave like everybody else. And yes, I do have my popcorn pop. Why? Because I know my mission. I'm doing my mission, sitting here disseminating everything I haven't done it. I'm doing it.
That's what I mean.
My mission.
But
I'm on it.
Doing it for so long, man. And it's why guys like myself, who would never 5 years ago have looked at this with any credibility or any sense of urgency. And once you understand it in the way that you guys have explained it, anybody with any sort of care for other people that have any sort of access to a microphone needs to do it. And I reading this chat room is hard while we're going, but over and over, Matrix, they love you, man, and they appreciate the work. And bro, I
love them back. Trust me, I love them all back, because I'm a person that I'm always in my chats. I love everybody out there, and you guys out there in the chat. I can't even see you out there, but you guys know I love you guys.
They do, man. And Matrix, listen, we're gonna have you back on 1,000 times, and we are gonna do a show with you just on Oak Island. We're not gonna get into any of this shit.
Oh yes,
we're doing it, buddy.
When I heard you did a show on Oak Island, I heard about it after you did it. I was so sad. I was like, I'm mad he did it without me, but you don't even know I love Oak Island. I didn't love Oak Island.
Yeah.
Okay,
can I ask a selfish question here before we let you go? And I don't know if there's another.
Smash the like button, everybody, please.
Yeah.
It's unreal today. Over 1,500 people in the chat room, 500 and some likes. I mean, this is how this movement grows, and it's because of you all. Thank you.
And I don't know if there's another Q proof after I ask this question that you can leave us with or something similar, but that would be awesome. Anything that you've, I know you've had a bunch of stuff prepared for us. But let me ask you, my wife and I have been going down this rabbit hole, tons of rabbit holes, I should say, over the last week and over the weekend. We were thinking back to like the Me Too movement. And I was wondering what you thought of that. And was that part of things being revealed to us? The Me Too movement was started by an activist in 2006, but it gained traction in 2017 with Alyssa Milano. Was that part of things starting to be revealed to us?
You know what? I'll be 100% honest. I hadn't even thought about that in a while.
I have a clear theory on the Me Too movement. Matrix, I want your opinion. Go ahead.
I want to say, but I think he's right though. I think it is a something to. Okay, so you start the Me Too movement, right?
Yep.
But whenever real women that really got raped came around, what do? They pushed them away. Why?
Yeah, they told
because
them
it was a part of an agenda. So I think part of the white hat op was to take something they did and expose it by doing something that would allow them to expose it in the narrative where everybody on TV can see it, just like they do with the narrative with everything else. Put it to where
I'll be honest, Matrix. From the beginning, brother, I was confused by the whole thing. I saw what turned out to be #MeToo after a woman wrote this incredible story of how she was sexually abused all the way down. And then at the bottom, it said, #Me Too. I was like, I was so confused. Like, is this lady asking for sex? Like, what is happening? I thought it was terrible branding, is my point. I thought they screwed it up and missed the mark. That's all I'm saying.
This is why these guys have to decode and you can't.
Right, exactly. This is why I'm here to just tell people what's going on. Yeah. Matrix, you are literally my friend. You are the elite special forces of this Q movement. Yeah, my friend.
Honored to have an OG on the show with us today. That's really awesome. Was there anything else you can leave us with? Did you have anything else prepared that you can show us? A Q proof?
Yeah. Okay. Being a Q proof, it'd be one of my personal decode things. Let me try and pick one out for you, though. Everybody's been wanting me to show you guys the monstrosity, but you guys are not ready for it. So what I'll do is
I feel like hit me.
Yeah, you know what, Matrix?
Well, no,
hit us with the biggest beast. Dude, they threw adrenochrome at me, show one. Please,
let's set the grenade off. Let's just throw the grenade.
Hang on, let me find the right.
Talk about it all day tomorrow.
Here, let me find the right thing I got here. Let's see where I saved a new one for you guys, so I knew where it was. Where'd it go?
Yeah, man. No, take your time and get to it. Let me know when you want me to bring this up.
All right, will do. Let me just find what I did with it. Where'd you go?
Mick, yeah, man. So I feel like after today, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, obviously, but I've got a lot more clarity now, I think, on that. Was a big part of my questions was all this stuff about the media and who's running it and the white hats and what the movie thing was. And I feel like my head's starting to break through those clouds now. I'm understanding a little bit more clearly.
All right, I just need to open it. I think I found it, so
he's got to bury it in a lead case, Matt, so that nobody can figure out where this proof is.
Yeah. Oh, shoot! If you wait till you see it,
I know this is gonna be one. Dude, he'll connect the date, the drop number, then it'll be a page in a document that coincides, and you're going to go.
I'm fascinated by the process of it all, man.
Well, that's why I'm going to show you this one here that I'm showing. I got to wait for it to load. It's still loading. It's such a big thing.
I think one of these shows, Mick, what would be fun is if a guy like Matrix would take us and let us try a decode just to see what would happen.
I mean, we are a comedy show, dude. People have laughed their asses. I'm all for it, bro. I don't care. I'll try to decode anything. Here he goes.
I think it'll be fun. All right. Let me bring this up.
Here we go. Let me get me 1 second here so I can get to the right place, because you guys don't know where I'm going to start this thing. You guys are going to get this quick sample.
While he's lining up, Matt, let me say one thing to the audience. Guys, we are almost at 600 likes. We can get there. We've been over 1,500 people in the chat. This is something that Matt and I, you have to understand, we're doing this show in real time, yet our minds are actually exploding at the support and the love simultaneously. So we're flipping out while we're doing it live. So please know that as this thing grows, this has been the most incredible journey I've ever started in my life. And Matt, I think you're starting to feel that momentum.
And much unlike a lot of people probably watching, we're doing it all on video. That's going to live forever on the internet.
And we're doing it in real time. We're not recording this and editing it. The Matrix is going to make our brains explode and everybody's going to see this.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody was asking. Everybody asked me if I was going to show you guys this one. I said, hell no. But I'm going to go ahead and give you an idea.
It's not your fault. It's our fault.
I stood up, Matt, so I didn't fall off the chair. All right, I'm ready.
You can't even tell, can you?
First things first is you have to know one thing. There's absolutely no possible way that I can go through this entire decode with you because this took me on my own show 2.5 hours to go through.
Oh, wow.
So
burn through it, bro.
When you see the whole thing, you'll understand why.
Yeah, we'll end this show and go drive off a bridge. We're ready.
Okay, so here, first things first, you have to understand why this is so important and how this happened.
Yep.
This happened here live on air on Joe Rambo's show, and it happened on accident by chance. Joe had trouble showing videos that day. It was the day Charlie got shot. He called me up and he said, hey, can you hop in the show and help me show a couple videos? So I hop into the show. Within a few minutes, Charlie got shot.
Wow.
So while on that live show,
when that happened,
this is live on air, and people that are in the chat that were there can vouch for me that I did this live on air.
You need no vouching, my friend. You need none. Go ahead.
So what I did was I just took his birth date and death date. I put it into the calculator to see how long he was alive. So October 14th of 93 to September 10th of 2025 is the given dates. So I get 11,654 days.
I already know what that adds up to. I see it right away.
Then you also have
654. Add them numbers up, Matt. Hit me like a ton of bricks right now in real time. Go ahead. You're going to watch me explode in real time. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a 17, but
yeah, that's 17. Go ahead.
It's also 31 years, 10 months, and 27 days. Okay.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly bring the drops back up for you to show you the drop I'm going to show you without my stuff all over it.
Yep.
So you're about to see this drop here. Okay. Drop 654. Okay. And the reason you're going to see this drop is because with the days here, 11,654 to me. So you guys understand this, the numbers 654 stick out. Now, the reason why, again, since you guys are newer, I'm going to give full explanation here.
Yeah.
They say that all three movies are playing simultaneously, and they do that by using theaters 4, 5, and 6. Guardians of the Pedophiles, Panic in DC, and FISA-Gate. So that's my reference when I see 4, 5, 6 or reverse 654. So that's what's in my head. So I use the 654. All right. You guys haven't even seen anything. Just wait.
Go ahead, dude.
My God. Here's the drop we're going to look at. Okay. It's January 31st, 2018.
Yeah.
And it's got this picture in here. Okay. So I'm going to keep going down here. The name of the picture is Quad Zero Freedom. It says Happy Freedom Day tomorrow, 2/1 of 2018. I'm guessing that the Freedom Statue and Freedom Day have to do with the Q stringers for freedom. News unlocks map. Q. That's it. Now, what can I do with this? Well, let me show you. So 654 is the drop number, correct?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the numbers that I plugged in for Charlie's date of birth to death, and you're going to see them completely match the numbers in drop 654. Watch this. So here's the drop 654 right here at the top of it. So 654 is the drop number. Here's your 654 sitting here. January 31st, 31 years. Timestamp 10/27, 10 months, 27 days.
See, this that kind of voodoo shit
Hang
that
on.
people don't know how to go ahead, man. My mind's
hang on. Then you have leftover is your 11.
Yeah.
So you did your 654, your 31, your 10, and your 27, right? I have the 11. Well, I have January here. That's a 1, and I have a 1 over here. That's a 1. Or 2018. What's 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8? That would be 11.
Unbelievable.
Dude.
So now hang on. This is just the top of the drop. Now I got to explain to you, where does it connect? Now, who are we talking about here? We're talking about Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was said to be shot and killed, which would be a murder situation.
Mm-hmm.
The code for murder for the police is 187. So in the drop right below these numbers, it happens to be a 187.
Wow.
See, man, now I know how black people feel when they watch David Blaine do magic and they're always flipping out. Now I get it. This is
now
insanity.
here, okay, that's just the top of the drop. Now here's something else special. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scan over real quick. Don't get lost. I'm gonna go back over to the actual drop, and we're gonna go back down the drop so you can see it in my form here. So this is what you saw a second ago, plain form.
Yep.
So I'm going back down this drop. Now there's that same picture. I have it covered with something, so don't worry about what I have it covered with.
Okay.
I'm going back to the bottom of that picture. Remember how it said freedom on it?
Yep.
Yes.
000 freedom. It's got freedom day, freedom, 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 freedom. Now remember, this drop, every last
Holy
number
shit, I just
connected to Charlie Kirk, correct?
He's wearing
the shirt.
the shirt.
And then what is he wearing but a shirt that
God.
says
Wow.
freedom?
Wow.
Now,
Dude.
let's keep going.
There's more.
Charlie Kirk dead in simple gematria equals 119, okay?
Gematria is taking the letters of the name and making them into numbers.
Adding
Correct. And
numeric
then adding them
value
together.
to each letter.
Correct.
Okay.
So Charlie Kirk dead equals 119. I'm going to come over here to drop number 560. That's on date 119. That matches Charlie Kirk dead. The timestamp happens to be 311, which matches Charlie Kirk's initials. C is 3, K is 11. Charlie Kirk 119. Charlie Kirk dead equals 119. Charlie Kirk's initials is the timestamp, and the number 119 is the date. That's freaky. But what's this drop tell us? Well, when Charlie was shot, would you not say that it was the shot heard around the world?
Holy shit. Come on, dude. Hey, man, it is no bullshit. Are you Q?
No.
Matrix, honestly, you in the 9?
Does Q say specifically anywhere that he works in numbers?
They very specifically show us they use gematria in drop number 40 because they say A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they let us know very specifically that they did definitely use it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where the next piece I got to go to is so I don't mess this up. There's a lot.
Oh, there's more?
Oh, you have no idea how big
Oh,
this
my
is.
God, dude. We should have done this at freaking 12:05.
No, man, it's a great way.
I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to give you guys a couple.
Go ahead,
When you guys see how big this thing is, you're going to shit.
Go ahead,
Charlie. So Charlie Kirk's name equals 105 in gematria. So we're going to go to drop 105. What does drop 105 that matches Charlie Kirk's name say? It says, please pray. Operators are in harm's way. High risk, high value targets. Please pause and give thanks to those who would die to save our republic.
Wow.
More to follow. Now, that's not all, though. It says, please pray. This drop for 105 that matches his name is on November 5th. On November 5th of the election, Charlie Kirk was not wearing a freedom shirt, but was wearing a pray shirt.
Wow.
Charlie Kirk's name brings you to pray, and somebody dying, he's wearing the pray shirt. That's the first thing in the drop that matches again his name and the same date as the actual election.
Wow.
Shirt.
Let me ask you something. So do we think that this actually happened in 2017 as well?
No, this Charlie Kirk
Okay.
thing. Okay.
Gotcha.
You really don't want to me talking about Charlie Kirk right now.
Yeah.
Let's just say,
Okay.
let's just say that chess piece is off the board for now. So.
Wow.
Hey, Matrix, let me ask you a question, man.
Yep. That's that one.
It's so ironic that you're doing this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when Matt knows this to be true, the day my belief in everything shattered was the day Charlie was shot.
Ooh.
To me, it was the greatest wake-up call that we were being controlled, manipulated, and run by evil. And then the lies that came out about that man afterwards, and the way they tried to paint him into this racist, anti-Semitic lunatic, it showed me everything, because I had been watching Charlie for years because I am a fan of contrarians. I like guys that challenge thought. I look at life that way myself. And when they got rid of him, it immediately set off something in my brain, which was quieting truth. And whenever somebody tries to quiet truth, bad shit is happening.
Right. Now, I'll give you this because I don't want to go any farther with this, simply because I would literally lose people. I'm not joking, but if you want to see how large it's got, now remember, what you see on the screen happened. Ooh, wow, I just messed that whole thing up. Hang on.
Oh, good.
This way. There we go. This whole thing started right here on live on air, right? And it ballooned over here to what you saw with the Freedom shirt. Now, would you like to see what this ballooned into? This is what I call the monstrosity.
Do I got to take my pants off? Because I don't want to shit my pants. I don't mind shitting on the floor. But if it's going to be this one, go ahead, man.
Look at it. Look at all that. All connecting in. And of course, it goes in. You got Erica Kirk coming into it.
Where does she fall in your mind, bro?
Evil.
There's a lot of talk about her right now.
Here, this is what. Focus on his wife.
Wow.
Damn,
no kidding.
Why? Hey, why? I'll see you in Valhalla equals 215. Drop 215 says focus on his wife.
Wow. Crazy.
What did Candace Owens say? Erica knows everything.
Let me ask you, man, you did a whole show on this. Where is that available for people if they want to watch this whole thing?
It's my Decode show. Let me think here.
We've got your channel linked in the description, by the way. Everybody who's not already following should go follow it.
Here, give me a second. I'll find it really fast.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Fade to Lisa, $10 rant. Thank you. I love you guys. Keep going. We love you and appreciate that. And then Rose Gannon 1, $10. Love this. Where is the gathering on Wednesday?
It is
always at Hammer Jokes.
Hammer
right,
Jokes. Just come. We talk about this stuff. This week, I'm going to have a drink called Matrix Can Kiss My Ass. He ruined my week. So it's, dude.
Blow your head up, man.
Matrix, listen, bro. I've said this to Rambo. I've said it to Treason. I've said it to all of them. You guys are the Sons of Liberty, dude. I mean, if you know history, you guys are the dudes in the barns and in the farm fields talking so nobody could hear you. And you laid out the groundwork for saving it all. And, dude, if Matt and I can help get this word out, it's crazy. And if Matt, that is how I look at it. If this leads to people hating me because I tried to save and prove horrible things were happening, I have no problem dying on this hill. Zero. If I'm never heard from again, it was cool knowing everybody. I swear to God. You listen. This shit is next level.
Mixed last words.
And I'm gonna tell you something, my last words are gonna be this, because if it happens and I get killed or something, last thing I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna say this is bullshit. I'm gonna die. That I'm gonna end with all of it. Just this is bullshit. Tell the truth. And you guys are doing it, man. Wow, Matrix, thank you, bro. We're gonna have you back between Oak Island, this stuff. I'm not gonna sleep for 3 weeks. This is nuts.
It was amazing, man.
You're amazing, bro. Yeah. And thank you for giving us morons a little time to take this in. We will talk soon, my friend.
Hey, thank you guys for having
me. Appreciate you, Matrix.
I'm enjoying seeing you guys grow as well. So I'll make sure I'm following you guys along on this journey to see how you guys go. But I had an absolute blast, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
You will be back, dude. Thank you so much.
You,
wow, Matrix.
Yeah.
Matt, listen, bro. I remember the first time a girl told me how to get a girl to like you, right? And she said, don't be nice. Girls don't like that. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Here I am at 57, and I'm realizing the world just wants to be told the truth. Like, I don't want to play games anymore. You know what I'm saying, buddy? Like, I'll handle it all.
Yeah.
That guy, listen.
A lot of people are there, man. A lot of people are of that same mindset where they're ready to hear the truth. Ready to, not trusting any of our institutions any longer. And this is the way we get the truth. Yeah, Layla's Nana.
Go ahead, buddy.
$20. You can't get out of this that easy, Mickey.
Yeah, I don't want to get out. I just love the fact that hopefully we can wake up every day, Matt, and what we do here brings in maybe one or two people a day, and then that snowballs, and we're just finally telling people, man, Matt and I don't have the answers. We just know the people that do, and we're good at explaining what they mean. And this movement it's changed my life, dude. Like, and when I see and talk to these people that have been doing it for years, Matt, and I see their pain, and they tell me their family, children, brothers, sisters don't talk to them over this stuff, it's heartbreaking, man. You know, this country really twice has gone.
They've won, really, when they've been separated from friends and family, unfortunately. So hopefully, with all this coming to light, the Epstein files and shows like this, and all those guys who have been out decoding all these messages, the truth is going to get out, and that's the goal, right?
Without a doubt, we want to thank everyone that donates. Oh my God,
Meg Gast, $1. Mickey, mind blown.
Yeah,
thank
craziness,
you, Meg.
Man.
Yeah,
it's just craziness. And listen, I'm also, and I want to explain to the community, I think it gives us actually more credibility to try to find guests that come on and don't believe it. That we can say, hey, listen, I understand. I was there 6 months ago. Now, I looked at Joe Rambo as like the most together autistic dude I ever met in my life. And now I realize that guy's not autistic in the sense that he's weird or dangerous or anything like. They think different, and thank God for them. And these guys are just, I don't know how else to say it. I'm just, wow, what an arsenal we have behind us.
I know,
Matt.
love it, man. That was an amazing chapter 4 of our Q School, and we'll do it again next Monday.
And I'm going to tell you, had I known how this show was going to go, this Q juice bottle would not have had water in it. This would have been straight vodka.
Now we even know it's not water.
I guarantee you it's not.
Yeah. Well, we're going to break it all down for you tomorrow, too. Just where our heads are at. Well,
are we?
Well, I'm going to tell you where my head's at anyway.
I can't wait, buddy.
Yeah.
To all of you, Rambo, News Treason, Stormy, Abs, Matrix. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We are here to help get your work out to the community. We are here to validate you, and you help us bring in the new people. We love you all. This is amazing.
For those of you watching, would you like this? It helps us get the videos out there. We appreciate all the comments, of course, as well. And if you're watching us on Rumble, would you find us on X as well?
Please follow.
And vice versa. If you're watching this on X, come over to Rumble and follow us there. We'd love you for that.
And if you haven't followed Matrix yet, because he made the comment, which blew my mind, that we had more followers than him. That's insane to me.
It is insane.
Please go follow this dude. I mean, the company you are keeping, my friends, is the best.
Linked in the description.
And Matt and I do this full time, 5 days a week. It's how we are trying to make our living. So all of your donations meet everything. If you're interested, please go over. It's in the description to the website. Buy Above the Rabbit Hole shirt, the community shirts. We just want to be able to keep doing this. And I'm just blown away today. Incredible, buddy. What a great show.
Man. And back tomorrow to decompress and figure out where our heads are at in all this.
Let's raid Rambo.
Is he on today?
Of course. Wait. He might be
Monday.
off on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Everybody, thank you. We love you. We will be back tomorrow.
Moon East.
Matt will be trying to explain what happened to him the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'll be trying to hold him and not kiss him on camera. So we'll talk to you guys then.
See you guys tomorrow.